Yo, what's up, guys? We are live. What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing out there? Back with Wes, Onyx Coin Ambassador, XCN, baby. That's what we
Hey,
do.
how you doing, guys?
How was your weekend, buddy? You said you had a little bit of an issue there on
Oh yeah,
Sunday.
we rained on the downstairs neighbors. Had a nice buildup from the water line of the fridge. Was a slow leak that no one ever saw, and it saturated the flooring underneath until it kind of just gave way and went through their ceiling. So that
Oh,
was nice. That was a good time. So that was my plumbing emergency. But I'm back, and all is good and all is dry over here.
no kidding, eh? So so give me the latest on the ambassador. Last time we talked, they had dropped one of the ambassadors due to a lack of effort on their behalf, is what I'm assuming. And is there any progress on a new ambassador?
So yeah, the other ambassador just kind of like it pretty much showed up for the first or second day, and then we just never heard from him again. He wasn't doing tasks or whatever. He wasn't responsive in the chat. We were like, "Hey, is everything okay?" Because we understand life's in session and sometimes things come up, but this guy was just like MIA. So they did decide to extend the position to the people that had placed first, second, and third in the community Zealy.
Okay.
Because it already showed, the activity level and the initiative. To my knowledge, I have not gotten a confirmation that some gentleman by the name of like Demon 2.0 on there had placed first. He was given first crack, but we haven't gotten any confirmation. And there was a news update about, I guess, they just got so many applications for the ambassador program that they extended the 3, but they did file all of the other applications that were of interest to them to have as future backups. So that's good. I mean, there's a lot of community interest with that, and it'd be good to have another ambassador back joining us. Although we're kind of falling into a nice little groove, man. I mean, the numbers between us are the gaps are closing. So it's good. We have, out of the 7 we have some pretty active ambassadors.
Nice. That's what you want to hear, man. That's great for the project, for the community, getting as much information and spreading the word as possible. You know what I mean?
And they are changing. One of the things that's really good is that it's not like the same tasks. Sometimes there's the same week to week that doesn't change, but there's a lot of variation. Like the team is coming up with, I say team again, is coming up with a lot of different things to keep the approach different, fresh, and keep, the outreach spreading. And I think that's going to do well for the project. I mean, the fact that they also had announced that they secured, funding or approved funding for this project for the next 12 months tells me something too, that they're happy with it. Also, some of the people that are current ambassadors were past ambassadors as well in the first time of the program, and they seem to be very happy with the way things are going.
Really?
So, yep, there's a couple of them in there, a couple old school guys.
78. So there was something that I was going to mention to you here. I just put this on the screen because it's what you were talking about.
Yes.
They're saying they got a crazy amount of that's not it. A crazy amount of applications. They can't get to all of them, kind of thing. So I found that funny.
Yeah.
But what is that? What is that? To me, something like that is a metric. I use these things as a metric. If they have so many applications for people wanting to jump on as an ambassador,
Mm-hmm.
that shows me huge community interest in the project.
Yes.
Right.
And the
That is
community Zealy, and it also echoes the showing of huge community support with how blown away they were by the unexpected volume and participation level of the community Zealy project, the public Zealy. I recall reading something to the effect, that they were very, very surprised just how much, interaction and how much participation there was in that program. And that is also being changed regularly, new tasks and everything. So it's doing really well for the marketing.
Well, and there's another metric that you and I were just speaking about off camera. About I was telling you about how the channel is crypto future channel is primarily Jasmy centric, right? And that's why I had created the other channel, Crypto Blueprint, and I dual stream there so that I can talk about a wider variety of things over there, more macroeconomic factors. And but we were talking about the views, how if I do any other kind of video, KASPA, and anything else, I could do XRP, any other type of video on the channel, and the views are really, really down on those videos. But if I do an Onyx coin video, the views are competitive, believe it or not, with that of Jasmy's views. Jasmy views go through the roof, and Onyx compared to everything else, and XCN Onyx coin views are right up there, not quite as high as Jasmy views, but compared to like XRP views and everything else, they're very, very high, like very high, 4 to 5x the views, right? That is another metric to me that shows me massive community interest.
Right. And, even like, one of the things I had to do for the ambassador program was start a TikTok so that I can do social outreach on that. The amount of views that I'm nobody on there. I'm some random guy that decided to do. I mean, the amount of views I got for XCN stuff rather quickly exceeds over 500, within a day or two. So I was surprised by that too. So there's definitely people out there, searching for content, searching for updates, searching for information about this project, which is nice to see, especially, as we're going into the unknown with, the alt season, when it comes, if and when it comes. But I think that it's going to do very well.
Well, there was another thing that I wanted to show you, and that is that if we go and have a look at Swift, I want to show you Swift's CoinGecko here, first of all. Okay. So, again, another thing you and I were talking about off camera was how Swift had just had a massive run. So Swift was down at about 2 zeros, almost 2 zeros, like 2.7, 2.8 or something like that, right?
Yep.
And then it went on a hell of a run, right? And its all-time high is about 2 cents 6. Got as high recently to about like 1 cent, around there, right? So really close to its all-time high, right? And I look at the market cap, for example, and I look at, the tokenomics are pretty good, almost 90% in circulation.
Yep.
And if I go over to Onyx Coin, it's basically where Swift was before Swift just had this little run. Like almost exactly where it was. The market cap is very similar to Swift's. Swift's is like 78. Onyx Coins is 68 million, right? Mm-hmm. And the tokenomics are just as good.
Yeah.
So when we talk in the past about the potential of where Onyx Coin could go, I mean, Swift just got almost up to its all-time high just on one melt-up phase. It hasn't even started the parabolic part of the bull run, which tells me that probably before the end of January, Swift's going to be somewhere around 8 to 10 cents, in my opinion.
That'd be great. That'd be great for everyone holding it.
Yeah.
With Onyx too, I mean, they had that spike up to 204, and it was almost like effortless. If you look at the chart, it was just, went in bullet mode, man, where it just went straight up, so there was the potential's there for this thing to move. It seems like a lot of old sellers too, unless you really, bought in the 0.001, 0.0012 level and you're looking to just make a quick flip, you do have sellers exiting the market to where the orders are going to get thinner as you go up.
Exactly. Yeah.
And, you'll see just prices just shooting for the sky until they hit the ceiling somewhere.
So my argument though is that if Swift can do that in not even in an altcoin season, not even in like the parabolic part of an altcoin season, it can go to 1 penny from almost the same level Onyx Coin is right now. Onyx Coin can do the same thing. That's one of the reasons I feel that like 3 cents is just like is no problem. I think it could get to a penny, penny and a half before the euphoric altcoin season even kicks in. Right?
Yeah, I mean, man, I'd be a very happy camper if that's the case.
Well, we
But
just
yeah,
saw it happen with Swift.
you don't know. I mean, just like what was it last week? We had mobile shoot up almost 200% once they came out and said they're not getting rid of the coin or whatever like that. And that's pretty much where I believe their cap was close to where we are right now on Onyx at that time. So things can move really, really fast. Nothing's out of reach.
Exactly. So, I noticed that when I was looking at the two of them, that Onyx coin is sitting pretty much exactly where Swift was sitting before Swift went on that little run to 1 cent one,
Right.
in very short order. And again, I have to continue to preface the fact that we're not even in the euphoric, crazy altcoin season phase yet, right? Like when it gets crazy, like we start seeing an XRP type run, forget about it, man. And we will with most altcoins. I won't say every altcoin, but most altcoins, right? So now people ask me all the time, like, well, can it get back to its all-time high? And I always say there's a difference between where a project can potentially go and where I think it's going to go, right? Yep. Two different things. Potential, because at the end of the day, what we're doing, what everyone is doing, doesn't matter what channel it is educated guesses and speculation. Nobody knows for sure.
Of course.
Right?
Yep.
So all we can do is go by potential.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I really do think the project has the potential to go back to its all-time high.
Yeah, if it reached its all-time high, the market cap wouldn't be anything that's overly outlandish. I don't know what it is on the top of my head, but it wouldn't be anything insane for it to go, to 18 cents.
It's only $67 million right now.
Yeah.
So it could fly. Like,
right.
I want to give you an example with XRP. Before XRP started its run, it had about a $50 billion market cap. I think a hair under a $50 billion market cap. 50 billion.
Now it took over BlackRock's market cap. It's got a higher cap than BlackRock does. It's insane.
Yeah. And when it was at its peak, before it started coming back down, it was at $1.90. So it was closer to 200 billion from under 50 billion. Now, all I'm saying is that Onyx coin could get 3 to 5. That's it, man. XRP got 150 billion.
Right.
In like 3.5 weeks.
If they want, if interest comes in the market, there's plenty of money there to shift, to get this thing to new all-time highs. If that's what the people want, if that's what the big money and the smart money wants. Yeah. It's insane how much money, is being moved around in these markets. When you think about it, some of these caps and despite how big of a project it is, this still has immense power to move to the upside. So, I mean, for a small cap, obviously more volatile, but the reward ratio is, that's what we're gunning for here. We're going for something that's got a high reward ratio. Sure, is it a little bit riskier, but when you look at the chart in the long run, we're so beaten down from where we started at the start of the bear market in 2022. I believe that the downside potential for us is rather limited. We kind of have an idea where our local floor is from this August and things like that. It's pretty much around the 0.001. And if things get really bad, but it is interesting to see that, even with Bitcoin smashing the 100,000 and going up to 104, if it goes back down to 95 or 94K, it's like how we treated, it from going from 70 to 50. It's, it just kind of shows that a lot of people aren't in this space for the tech or the fundamentals. They're in it for the money. They return the right to the market. So, I'm bullish on Onyx for the, development and for the use case and for the progress of the team and the community and the environment. But also, let's not forget, the chart is an amazing chart. If you're zooming out and looking at larger time frames and not getting caught up in the daily noise, it's a very, very nice, setup for a long here.
Well, this is a perfect example as well of what I stress on the channel all the time and that is setting higher lows and support levels. Because look what happened. We tumbled, but we caught exactly at this support level that we built right here. We caught exactly there, and we're sitting there right now, right?
And you see that wick to the left side of that. That was right where it wicked up right before that. We have support on past resistance, which you can't ask for nothing better than that.
Yeah. So what I try to tell people is that if as painful and crappy as it is to spend time building these support levels and consolidating instead of just up only, had we not built this level of support here, guys, and spent that time, we would have went even further down.
Yep.
Way further down, right? And
now, what do you think our friend Bitcoin's going to do? Is if Bitcoin takes us on a ride to retest, back test event, we'd have to fall through 92,000, 94,000, 92, 85. But if we end up going back to 70K, man, the alts are going to be on a serious decline, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. That's like worst case scenario there. I think that, if we fall below, I mean, I'm hoping we stay above 90. If we go below 90, I'm looking at 87 as my kind of support level there. That's kind of what I'm watching. But I mean, I'll cross that bridge when we start falling down below, 90, 94, 95, right? Right now we are sitting in a bearish pattern. I'm not going to lie, right? I mean, these generally break to the downside, right? This is what I've been tracking. We have an ascending channel here, and these are generally going to break to the downside. Now, it's not mandatory that they do. In fact, if I was to, I want to show you something. If I was to,
also printing a bearish divergence there in your RSI.
Yeah. I'll show you something.
Bitcoin loves to do during the tops, and even on higher time frames, there's bearish divergence all over the damn thing.
Yeah, if I go, so I've shown other examples in the past, like the KASPA chart is kind of weird for it, where whenever we have that identical pattern on a KASPA chart, KASPA usually, we have an ascending channel here, it usually ends up breaking to the upside instead of the downside, right? Like I've noticed that, like this is almost exactly what Bitcoin's doing right now. If you were to just zoom in on this is exactly what Bitcoin's doing right now, and it broke to the upside. It's done that. I've done that in the past. I've shown multiple times that KASPA does that, right? Like look at this rising wedge pattern we have going on here on KASPA. Fucking broke to the upside. Like right. These generally break to the downside. So if we go back over to Bitcoin, very similar pattern. I'm not saying it's going to break to the upside. I'm just saying I'm just showing examples of how it's not 100% mandatory that they break to the downside, right? If demand is there, then demand is there, right?
Michael Saylor keeps on buying $2 billion at a clip. That'll help keep the boat afloat too.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Just this week, even with prices at these levels, man, biggest buy since 2020.
Let me see if there's any questions in the chat.
Sure.
Many DCA opportunities. Yes, there is.
Oh yeah, it's a good day to have dry powder.
What do you think of all the new meme coins? I haven't really looked into any meme coins. There's too many rugs going on right now on new memes. It's becoming a popular thing to rug with memes. Hawk2 just memed, didn't they? Yeah.
There's a lot of scrutiny over that. I mean, but what'd you expect? You're gonna put your money into a meme called Hawk2 from that woman, and then you're gonna be surprised that your money's gone, like that your investment is, at some point, man. I mean, the shame on you,
Yeah, I can't believe this happened.
Yeah,
really, you can't. You didn't
exactly.
Let me see if there's any more questions here. Metal Detector says, what's everyone's price prediction in the chat for XCN? I think anywhere between 5 to 10 cents is at least, it's realistic for me. Like I like hearing that. I see some of these XCN charting videos where these guys chart for like 2 minutes or something. I don't know if you've seen these, but they're like, 84 cents.
Yeah,
and stuff.
I've seen it, 88 cents and all that. Yeah, I mean, I would love for it to happen. I'd be cheerleading on the sideline. I'm not against it, but I like to set my expectations real too and conservatively because I don't want my vision blinded during the sense of going up and getting caught in things. I kind of like to have a conservative target and with that a plan to scale out a certain amount. Getting caught up in, oh my God, it's not going to go down, and that's how they trap you and keep you around until the next bull run. You'll end up holding it all the way through the bear, not believing that the high was in.
Well, see, for me, one of the biggest issues is some of these content creators, they want their audience to stay in long enough, like the big ones, the larger channels. They want their audience to stay in these coins longer so they can dump, right? So that's why they sit there and they say, don't sell, it's going higher. Meanwhile, they're dumping on you the whole time, right? They're sitting there telling you to buy more, pumping their bags, and then they're exiting, right?
Yeah.
Like it's,
Yep. Using their channel, their channel viewers as their exit liquidity. We're part of it.
Yeah. Metal Detecting says, smash the button, everyone. 60 people in the chat, 20 likes. Let's get to 50. Yes, absolutely, man.
We got 60 watching, huh? I never know how many are tuning in. I don't know where you see it on my screen, but that's great.
We actually have 102 people tuning in.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we're up in the. I don't know if you see it at the top right corner. There's an eyeball and there's a number. I don't know if it's on yours or not.
I don't see it on mine.
No. Yeah, 102 people. We're streaming on 2 different YouTube channels and on X as well. So
awesome. Yeah, we'll have some more news hopefully, soon. I did request some information updates on the nodes that you were interested in, so I'm awaiting that. Still details. They keep things rather tight-lipped until they're ready. It seems to give it to everybody, the information. We don't get a lot of information privy to us, but I did ask, and I will let you guys know. Onyx Core releasing. I'm going to guess just forfeit. I was just sharing this in a video on one of the socials I did. I'm guessing safely would be Q1. I can't, give an exact date. I would say that Q1 2025 would be my best educated guess as to when we're going to be back up with Onyx Core, with the working product and know a lot more about it. And that's just what I'm gathering from some of the conversations, some of the comments of the admins in the chats.
Tell me a little bit more about Onyx Core. What do you know about it?
So I don't know all that much about it except for the history of it, and that it was an old tech that was utilized by Chain. That it at the time that it was live, it was very, very well received, and it was a tremendous amount of development, research, and tech put into this. It was not a small endeavor. It is not something that is just some willy-nilly half-assed thing that they're coming up with. I do know that it's going to tie a lot of things in with cross-chain. I don't know if there will be live markets on it, although I would assume there would be. It's I would assume that
is it like a swap or something? Like what?
So the thing is, like, it'll have swap like features in certain regards. The assets, I don't really know how to explain it. Certain assets that'll be launched on there will have value relative to other assets. It's almost like they
is it going to be like an upgraded version of this, or
no, it'll be very different. Yeah,
okay.
It'll be very different. This will also give people the opportunity to have their individual create assets and have individual assets on their own, basically their own chain, like their own ecosystem on the protocol. And there will be the option for those two potentially to act in a swapping fashion.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I'm excited about it either way. I'm excited about learning all about it. You know me, I like to learn this stuff and then just do nothing but talk about it all the time, right? So
it offers, one of the biggest potentials I see for it is, peer-to-peer lending was great, on what we had, but we were kind of limited. We were really just that. Other than your staking and farming, obviously, which DeFi's have, you're really limited on the peer-to-peer. This you can actually start bringing in, commercial institutional use cases to where it could actually work for, say, a company, whereas, peer-to-peer lending is, that's basically end user, and that's more of like a retail use case. This, I think, has a much more broad use case and much more potential. I still am waiting for a lot of, more information. They were releasing some tweets and some Telegram updates about it, explaining it. I know that some of the language was a little bit tricky based on the technicalities of the white paper. And what one of the people did, to try to explain it to me in more layman's terms, which I appreciated, was they took the white paper and basically put portions of it in, what is it, chat GBT or something like.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the explanation was amazing. I mean, it was so simple, and it was, it was awesome. I was like, wow, man, this is the missing link, dude. This is what I got to do when I read all this technical jargon, and try to find out what's, heads from tails on it. But one of the things that I do wish that the team or the admin were doing more is answering those questions of, what's this going to look like? Or, could you explain it in this and that, instead of just cutting an excerpt from the white paper and pasting it as the questions? It's like, we read that, but clearly, put it in layman's terms to me. Like, what is this going to look like? Give me something here. But it's just, that's not the project this is, so I got to accept them for where they are and, how they move.
Yeah. Just copy and paste it into ChatGPT and then tell ChatGPT, explain this to me like I'm 5.
Yeah, it was great, man. When he did it and he put it down, it was just I couldn't believe it. Yeah, it was very good.
Nice.
So yeah, I think Q1 is my guess. Let's see if I'm right.
Carlos West propose a lockup for XCN like JASMY so we can shoot the price to $3. So he's concerned. Is there any plans for any kind of solid TVL in the ecosystem right now that you know of?
Well, there was with that stable. There was supposed to be 10, what was it, 10 million, TVL locked up from that. I don't know until we know more about what's going to come with Onyx Core. I'm sure that alongside the protocol launch, there will be some plans to basically kickstart it. I know that there's been other people in the past that have talked about proposed lockups, but one of the best things a lot of the community really appreciates is the fact that it's staking without a lockup, and it's staking with rewards given in real time. You don't have to lock your stuff up. And if the market goes crazy, now you can't get your funds out to sell at a point that you've been waiting for a year because you committed to X amount of time to stake your coins.
Like ICP?
So, that's to me, that's an amazing freedom to be able to stake it, unstake it when you want, get your rewards when you want, stick around as long as you want or as short as you want. I mean, I think that's one of the things that's unique about, Onyx. And that's one of the things that attracts me most actually to their staking versus other people staking.
Yeah. James, I'm all about siding with the bull market lasting deep into 2025, but what is y'all's take on BTC reaching 110 to 120 height in early 2025, then bleeding out slow over a few months? I don't see a swan event happening personally, but I do see it hitting 110 to 120 in early 2025. That's entirely realistic for that to happen for sure. I think then we'll probably see a bit of a down sideways. We always see a summer of sideways, always, right? So like April, May, June, most of July, we'll see like a bleed and then like a sideways kind of thing for sure. And then possibly another leg up in the fall before finally crapping out. So yeah, that's my thought. What do you think?
I would say, we're buying like the 115 area, and then I think there's going to be a correction. I don't know where that correction would go. I would guess, I'm just guessing, that it would be kind of a larger correction, not anything catastrophic, but a larger correction, and then eventually hitting back up in the fall. I'm going to guess something somewhere around, well, I'm going to be careful with saying this, but the number that comes to mind based on the fibs in the chart I was looking at are 170K.
Yeah, that's a safe number. I've said all along, I think between 150 to 200K is a nice safe range.
Yep.
It might only be a wick up to like 200K, but at the end of the day, you're starting to see crazy, like, Plan B is calling for $1 million Bitcoin this run, and just stuff like that. I'm seeing people calling for 300, 500K and stuff. It's like those are the people that are going to make you hold too long.
Yeah. Yep. And they were doing it last time too. I mean, they do it every cycle. They tell you to hold. It's going to go to this and that, and that's when you start hearing stuff like that. That's when you got to really start paying attention. And really have an exit plan. Really have your targets. Where's your stop? Your limit, and where's your win limit?
Well, that's why I don't have my exit strategy is not so much timing, but it's my like numbers. What is my exit number for Onyx Coin? Mm-hmm. And then if we like, my plan honestly is to take a lot of money out of the market somewhere near the end of March. Now, if we hit my exit price point on XCN or Swift or anything else, JASMY, much sooner than that, I'm still taking my profits at that time because 100%. I laid out a plan. I don't give a shit how much higher it goes after that, because I'm running just as much of a risk as running to the downside.
Somebody, not long ago had said, and I like this. They said, when you decide to take profits in an asset, especially crypto, erase the indicators, erase it from your watch list. Don't even look at it. Don't even check when you're done with it. Don't even go back, because you'll be tempted. If it goes up, you'll be tempted to jump out with the FOMO. You just take your profits, unwatch it, onto the next opportunity.
Or you'll sit there and dread your decision.
Yeah, and I honestly believe that's what I'm going to be doing as well. When I'm done with something, a trade, and I exit a position, I will be for a while anyway, until things are at the floor again. I won't be looking at that. That particular coin.
Yeah, 100%. Just move on.
Right? Yep, no need to tempt myself.
Yep. What do we got here? Tracy. Have not caught you live in a long time. Glad to see you, Tracy. Glad to see you.
Hey, Tracy.
James, I've been in this space since 16, and the hype is always short-lived versus what everyone on CT? What's CT?
Connecticut? That's where I'm at. I don't know what he means by that.
Crypto Twitter.
Okay, gotcha.
And YouTube is ready for it. Yeah, I agree. That's exactly right. Is that people will say it's going to go longer, price is going to go higher, basically, and it's always, that's why I say I front run the market. I leave early because I'm not stupid. Wherever people say things are going to go, guess what? You're looking at about 20 to 30% less than that. That's probably where the top is. Mm-hmm. No matter what project you're talking about.
Yeah, they were screaming for 100K Bitcoin last bull run, and it didn't happen. They're going to be screaming whatever number they're screaming now, and it's not going to happen. It's just the way it's always been.
Just Forfeit says, so maybe they'll implement a DEX also. I mean, I personally hope that they do, because that would, when you're building out an ecosystem, you got to have certain things. You got to have a launch pad. You got to have a DEX. You got to have, you got to have incentives to be able to have projects migrate over to your ecosystem.
Absolutely.
Or to build there. Right?
Yep.
So I think it is inevitable. Personally, that's just me speculating. But I do think it's inevitable to have some sort of a DEX. They kind of already do. If you look at the protocol, they just have to add more chains to it, really, if they can adapt it and make it, more, Bitcoin network. It's ERC20 right now, right?
So the staking contract will remain ERC20. It was ERC20. I don't know what exactly it's going to be. They did communicate that it will no longer. I don't want to misspeak here. They did communicate and emphasize that the staking contract will remain ERC20, which one could think would imply that the remainder of the protocol will no longer be on that. I don't know if it's going to be basically, a layer 0, with its own. I have no idea. But if they're saying it's not on Ethereum, by emphasizing that the staking will remain on Ethereum, we just have a lot of unanswered questions still at this point. I wish I can give you more on that.
When the bull run is over, Robin West collaboration is over.
Bro, I'll be here as long as I'm wanted, man. I'll be here, God willing, as long as I got air in my lungs, man. I'm around.
I get asked this kind of stuff often, and the thing is, like, people are like, are you going to leave after the bull run and all this stuff? Here's the bottom line, guys. As long as crypto's around, Wes and I will be here.
That's right? Dude, I'm married with a wife and 3 kids, dude. I'm going nowhere.
Yeah.
All right. Trust me. I got no life. Got no friends. I'm here, bro. I'm not going anywhere. You're all right. Don't worry.
Yeah. Nothing changes. I mean,
some of the handcuff, Rob.
Yeah. Hey, I'm married with 6 of them, bud. I know. I got you.
I call mine the gifts that keep on taking.
Yeah, but the some of the projects might change, but the channel won't. We'll continue to be here. Because at the end of the day, I don't personally do this because I need money. I've been around for a lot of cycles, and people on the Patreon, they know we talk all the time about it and stuff. They often ask me about my experiences in my first cycle, and how I converted my money from my first cycle into my second cycle and then my third cycle, and just all that stuff. So I've been around a long time. I started this channel because there was no community out there that I could join. Like I jumped around from hundreds of different YouTube channels in crypto, from Cryptos R Us to BitBoy to Altcoin Daily to everything in between. I even tried watching Wendy O, right? Everything in between, the bigger channels, the smaller channels, and I couldn't find a channel that had a good community because the people running the channel didn't care about the community. Mm-hmm. They were there to shill projects that they were getting paid to shill and stuff like that, right?
Right.
And like, I try to respond to everybody's comments and stuff in the chat all the time. I try to address everybody. Like, that's one of the reasons over on the Patreon we do the live group Zoom calls every day, because it's more than just me talking. Then it's all the community gets to come in, and I open this window, and all of the community over there gets to come in, and they get to talk. Sometimes I just sit there and listen. It's 2 other people in the community that are talking and helping each other, and
right,
and that's what I wanted to build. So that's not going away.
It's great for you or anybody else there too, man. I mean, you get a whole number of different opinions, different thoughts, different theories, and you can always learn something, keep what you want and leave the rest, and it's a good thing what you have going. Your people, like I said, in the ones that I've exposure with in the XCN Telegram, you seem like you have a really great group of guys and girls over there that are doing this thing with you. So,
oh, absolutely, the community is phenomenal. I was thinking about it today, and just like, I'm just so happy. I read their interactions on the Discord, on the Patreon, on the live streams here, and yeah, just so many good people, supportive of each other, supportive of the projects.
Yep.
There's like no toxic people.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, your people are the ones the very few people that I have subscribing to my own little thing. They're guys from here that find me and they just show love, man, and support. I'm not saying anything magical on there, but it's nice that they care and they show support. So you got some good guys under you, man.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Hey, you're part of the community now, bud, whether you like it or not. So.
Damn right. But hey, man, I actually got a cut. I don't know if you're gonna keep rolling, but I appreciate you having me on.
Hey, every time, man. Next Sunday, same bad time, same bad channel.
Yep. And I will, one thing I wanted to share before I leave too, I think this is a good opportunity to express what I'm going to attempt to do. I am going to try to talk in the ambassador chat, in the team chat or admin chat, requesting an AMA for Onyx Core. So people can ask questions and we can finally get some answers here, ahead of the launch without feeling like they're being rushed to launch it, disclose, tell us the questions, the answers to some questions and what already. So
You
let
know
me
what
get that going.
you know what you should do with that? This is what you should do. Ask about that, and then just tell them that we will get a list through there. They can put out the questions and stuff like to accumulate these questions, and they can select them from their X account, from the Telegram, from everything. They can accumulate all the questions they want to address from the entire community, and they can give us the answers, and you and I can go over the answers that they give on the channel, so that I know that they have an issue about being doxxed and stuff, not being doxxed, but because they're not team, right? So I mean, if they want to do something like that, and then you and I can reiterate the answers to all these questions live on channel, that would be
awesome.
Instead of just typing answers on Telegram, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'll definitely propose it. Let me. I'm going to be out later on, and once I'm done with that, I will shoot them a message requesting the idea, talk about the format, and definitely throw this idea out there and see if we can get some answers. Because we got money in a project. We want to know what's going on and what to look forward to. What things are going to look like, and I'll do my best to get that for you.
Yeah, just say we'll be the face for you guys, right? So, all right, buddy. You take care, man.
Everybody, I'll see you next week. Sunday next week will work regular time.
All right, brother.
All right, take care, guys.
Peace.